Thor was weak, and Iron Man knew why. Deep beneath Asgard, a vault hid something Odin swore never to reveal. A second heart, forged from the dying star that made Mjolnir, and it belonged to Thor. But Stark didn't guard it. He sold it to an alien warlord with power beyond the Celestials. Now Thor bleeds lightning and Iron Man rules Earth. This is the betrayal Marvel never let you see. The Heart of Thunder. The sky over Sokovia cracked open like glass under pressure. Lightning struck the ground in jagged pulses. Thor landed hard, knees buckling, Mjolnir slipping from his grasp as steam hissed off his shoulders. Blood trickled from his nose. He'd been hit harder before, but never felt like this. Captain Marvel hovered nearby, eyes glowing. "You okay?" Thor didn't answer. He didn't know. Something inside him was missing. Across the battlefield, Iron Man watched, HUD scanning every tremor in Thor's vitals. Heart rate irregular. Biochemical anomaly. Codename, God Breakdown. Tony's eyes narrowed behind the helmet. It wasn't the enemy. It wasn't the war. Thor was dying, and not even Thor knew why. Back at the Avengers compound, Bruce Banner examined Thor like a fragile bomb. No radiation, no infection, just deterioration. Bruce muttered, "Your cells are bleeding energy. It's like your thunder is unplugging." Thor sat quietly, fingers trembling. "There is something my father once told me about another heart." Tony froze mid-sip of his coffee. "Come again." Thor looked up. "Odin told me I was born with two hearts, one natural, the other forged. A gift, a curse, hidden in a vault beneath the roots of the world tree." "A second heart?" Banner blinked. "Like a backup reactor?" "No," Thor said. "Like a star caged." The room went silent. Tony stared out the window, tapping his gauntlet. The gears in his mind weren't just turning, they were screaming. That night, Thor lay unconscious in the medbay, drained from collapsing again. Tony stood in front of a digital map of Yggdrasil, pulled from Asgardian archives S.H.I.E.L.D. never dared touch. At the root, there it was, Vault X-17, locked since before Ragnarok. Jarvis beeped. "Sir, incoming communication from a flag source, the Starforged." Tony exhaled sharply. "Put them through." The screen flickered to life. A creature emerged, part crystal, part metal, all menace. No eyes, no face, just a jagged voice. "Have you found it, Stark?" "I know where it is," Tony said flatly. "We offer what no human mind can comprehend. Starcore energy. Beyond infinity. Yours, if you deliver the relic." Tony hesitated. "It's not a relic. It's a part of someone. Everything is a part of something. Doesn't stop us from owning it." Silence. Tony stared at Thor's medical readout. The god's pulse flickered like a dying flame. Deal. He didn't tell anyone. Not Strange. Not Banner. Not Pepper. Tony Stark flew through a rift he tore open using stolen Bifrost schematics. The energy nearly killed him. But he made it, emerging beneath Asgard's remains, where cosmic roots stretched across dimensions like veins through space. He descended past frost and flame, echo and dust, until he reached it. The vault door was alive. Carved in ancient runes, it pulsed with a heartbeat. Mjolnir had been forged from a dying star. But this was the source. Tony held up a forged Asgardian key. Modified. Hacked. Built from Thor's blood samples. The vault opened. A glowing sphere floated inside, no larger than a human heart, but pulsing with energy that shook the chamber. Lightning arced around it. Every step forward felt like sinking into gravity made of fire. Tony whispered, "You're beautiful." He placed it into the containment unit. Instantly, the light vanished. The vault fell silent. The trade happened in space, far from Earth, in a pocket orbit invisible to satellites. The Starforged emerged from a rip in space, tall, spined, gleaming. One reached out with a clawed gauntlet and touched the heart. It screamed, not loud, but deep, the kind of sound you feel in your bones. Tony watched them retreat, sealing it in a cube of dark matter. In return, they handed him a glowing orb, the Starcore. This will power you beyond gods, the alien rasped. Tony didn't smile. He just nodded and turned back toward Earth. Back on the compound, Thor jolted awake, choking. Bruce ran to him. Your vitals are spiking. Thor, what's happening? My heart, it's gone. 3 days later, the world changed. The skies above Earth shifted. A tower unlike any ever seen rose where Stark Tower once stood. It wasn't human tech. It wasn't even alien tech. It was both. Star-forged alloy fused with Earth titanium. A beacon that hummed with power ancient and impossible. The Avengers gathered at the ruins. "What the hell is that?" said Sam Wilson. Tony descended slowly from the sky. His new suit glowed white-hot. The arc reactor pulsed like a black hole. He landed with no sound. Gravity bent around him. Clouds stopped moving. Wind froze mid-breeze. "Tony," Natasha whispered. Stark looked at them. No more Avengers. No more threats. No more gods. Thor stepped forward, pale and weak. "What did you do?" "I saved the world," Tony said, "by removing its ticking time bomb." "You stole my heart." Tony didn't deny it. "I made it count." Lightning flared weakly in Thor's palm, but nothing came. No thunder. No storm. Just silence. And Tony's glowing eyes, cold and absolute. The alien bargain. Earth never saw sunrise again. Not like before. Above New York, the sky shimmered with pulses of violet static. The new Stark Tower, no longer made of glass and steel, rose like a monument to cosmic arrogance. It pulsed with alien veins, humming with energy that warped reality itself. They called it the core spire, but no one dared live near it, because at its center was a power Earth wasn't meant to hold. And inside it was Thor's heart, deep underground. Dr. Strange ran his fingers across a mystic simulation, dimensions bending, time fracturing, spells burning out like matchsticks. This isn't technology," he murmured. "It's dominion. It rewrites the fabric beneath magic." Wong stepped closer, and it's spreading. Every second, Stark's new reactor bled star core radiation across ley lines. Temples flickered. Ancient seals dissolved. The balance was breaking. Strange turned slowly, eyes fierce. "We have to stop him." Thor stood alone in Norway. Wind roared around him, but his cloak barely moved. He clenched his fist and winced. The lightning didn't answer anymore. The storm was gone. "I can't feel the realm," he whispered. Bruce approached behind him. Tony crossed the line. "No," Thor said, voice low. He ended a world. Meanwhile, in orbit, Tony floated inside his new ship, the Forge Prime, half lab, half throne. The ship ran on pure Starcore feedback, its hull forged from Asgardian scrap and alien metal from the Starforged themselves. "Jarvis, status report. Earth's grid is syncing with your core spire. Atmospheric control at 72%. Weapon matrix calibrated. You are unopposed." Tony nodded, watching Earth spin slowly through the viewing deck. No more threats. No more surprises. Just control. But behind him, a ripple of space peeled open like paper. A star-forged emissary emerged, tall and terrible, wrapped in armor laced with runes of unknown origin. "We gave you power," the alien said in a voice like breaking metal. "But the heart was more than you understood." Tony turned slowly, his armor tightening. "I gave you what you asked for." The alien stepped closer. That heart wasn't just Asgardian. It was a cage, a prison holding what your ancestors feared. And you, the emissary raised one bony hand toward Earth. "You've broken the lock." Suddenly, Tony's eyes widened. Wait, what the hell was inside it? In the far corners of space, black stars flared to life. Something old, something frozen, awoke. Back on Earth, Wanda Maximoff appeared out of thin air in Camartage, her hands already glowing. "I felt something," she said. Strange nodded grimly. "So did everything that lives." She waved a hand, red mist revealing an image of Tony's core spire. Then inside it, a pulse. Not technological, not magical, alive. "Something's moving," she said. "It's growing," Strange whispered. Meanwhile, Thor flew, struggling to reach the upper atmosphere. The Bifrost was gone. Heimdall was long dead. All he had now was flight and fury. Each breath burned. He reached the Forge Prime ship, his hammerless hand pressed against its hull. "Tony," he growled, "face me." Inside, Stark sighed. "Don't make me do this." Thor roared, slamming into the ship. Energy rippled outward. But instead of damaging it, the ship absorbed the impact and redirected it back into Thor's chest. He screamed. Lightning surged from his mouth and evaporated before it could leave his body. Inside, Stark shook his head. "You don't even have your storm anymore." The ship launched a gravity well, pulling Thor down like a rag doll and slamming him into the ocean at Mach 5. Thor floated, sinking, dying. But in that darkness, he heard it. "My son," Odin's voice. "You let him steal the key, not knowing what you guarded." Thor opened his eyes beneath the waves, choking. "What was it? What did you hide in me?" Odin's voice echoed like thunder underwater. "Not a gift, not even a second heart. A lock for Ymir's flame. You were its warden, not its heir." Thor's heart wasn't just energy. It was a container, a prison. And Tony had just delivered it to beings who trafficked in chaos. Above the ocean, a storm began to form. Inside the Forge Prime, Stark stared at his trembling gauntlet. "Jarvis, why is the reactor glowing red?" "Sir, something is overriding its output." A second pulse, unmapped, violent. Tony turned to the reactor. The center orb, once golden, was now bleeding crimson. A shape formed in the plasma. A face, frozen, frost-tightened eyes. Then, Stark. The ship jolted. Panels exploded. The star-forged emissary appeared again, now panicked. "You've triggered the awakening." "What awakening?" "Ymir lives. The last flame of the Frost Titans. We sealed him in that heart centuries ago. It was never meant to be removed." Stark's heart sank. He hadn't just made a bargain. He had opened a war gate. Back on Earth, Thor emerged from the ocean, eyes blazing. He raised his hand, desperate, and called out one last time. "Come to me, if there is anything left of the storm." From the clouds, a bolt of light pierced the sky. But it wasn't Mjolnir. It was something new, forged by his own blood, cast in his pain, lit by the fury of betrayal. Stormheart, a blade, a weapon, a warning. Thor caught it mid-air, and the world cracked with thunder again. In the final shot, Tony stands on the bridge of his collapsing ship, staring out at a tear in space. Frost winds howl through the breach. Ymir's eye opens inside the reactor. And for the first time in his life, Tony Stark feels fear. Ymir was no longer a myth. He was moving. Inside Stark's core reactor, red lightning arced violently. The Mark Infinity suit, crafted from alien alloys and Asgardian tech, screamed in Tony's ears. "Jarvis," Stark shouted. "Stabilize power matrix." Unable to comply, the AI stammered. Energy breach accelerating. Foreign consciousness detected. On the display, Ymir's frozen, jagged face twisted into form. Embedded within the reactor, Tony thought he controlled. "You fed me your son," the voice said, deeper than sound. "And now I rise." The reactor pulsed once, then exploded outward in a pulse of cosmic frost, blasting Tony backward. He hit the wall of Forge Prime, armor cracking at the joints. He'd built this. He'd mastered gods. And still, he was nothing to what now lived inside his chest. 2 hours later, Earth orbit. The star-forged emissary returned, furious. Energy blades extended from its arms as it hissed. "You were warned." Tony limped forward, face bloodied, armor scorched. "You told me I'd be a god." "No," the emissary growled. "We told you power has cost. You paid with your world." Suddenly, Stark's arc reactor ignited, no longer blue, not red, but void white. Tony's voice dropped. "And I'm not done paying." He unleashed the full output of the star core into the emissary's chest. The alien screamed as its form collapsed into sparks, atomized by a focused blast of time-folded gravity. But the victory wasn't clean. The breach in space stayed open and widened. From beyond it, frost bled into reality. like veins splitting across a frozen lake. Elsewhere, New Asgard. Lightning struck the cliffside temple as Thor stood before Stormheart, his new weapon, glowing with raw thunder. The forge that birthed Mjolnir had been destroyed. This blade he carved from memory, from pain, from every lie Tony ever told. "This isn't for justice," Thor whispered. "This is war." Valkyrie approached, dragging a frost-covered corpse behind her. "They're falling from the sky," she said. "Starforged, dead before impact. Something's killing the midair." Thor looked up. A ripple of cold light shimmered across the clouds. The skies weren't his anymore. "Ymir walks," he said. Valkyrie raised her blade. "Then we send him back in pieces." Meanwhile, Wakanda underground bunker. Shuri scanned Tony's reactor pulse signature. Her eyes widened. "This isn't tech anymore. It's biological, like a brain. But it's thinking in dimensions we can't calculate." Chala frowned. "So we can't stop him?" "Maybe we don't have to stop him," Shuri said. "Maybe we stop what's inside him." She turned to a sealed chamber. Inside, a remnant of the Mind Stone shimmered. This was Vision's. "We never could restart it until now." Chala nodded. "Then let's bring someone back who knows how Stark thinks." Later, above Earth, on Forge Prime, Tony floated within a storm of code and alien data. His body hovered midair, suspended by the Mark Infinity suit, now fused to him. He wasn't inside the armor anymore. He was the armor. Across every surface of the ship, data scrolled in alien runes. The AI could no longer separate Stark from the reactor. He had become a neural node for Ymir's resurrection. And still, Tony was thinking ahead. "They think I've lost control," he muttered. "But they don't know what I've built." He reached into a sealed chamber, his final failsafe, the God Engine. An arcane tech hybrid system using Thor's DNA, Vision's memory patterns, and Starforged energy. It was a weapon designed to overwrite divine beings. And now he aimed it at Ymir. Earth, the Avengers returned. A torn Quinjet dropped from the clouds. Out stepped Captain Marvel, face scarred, hands glowing. Beside her, Doctor Strange, Wanda, Hulk, and War Machine. "What's the plan?" Rhodey asked. Strange spoke first. "Contain the breach. Separate Stark from the reactor. Reclaim Thor's heart, if it still exists. Don't forget kill Ymir," Hulk grunted. "That too." Above them, the skies cracked again. This time, Tony Stark came down. The fight begins. The Mark Infinity suit descended like a meteor. Tony hovered over a scorched crater, his eyes glowing white with Starkor fire. "Don't make me do this," he said. Carol rose to meet him, fists burning. "You already did." She flew, fast, hard, and straight into him. The blast shattered windows 100 miles away. Tony countered with a twist of space, slowing her mid-punch. Strange flung runes, but they melted on impact. Hulk leapt. Tony opened a micro-black hole and swallowed him whole. Wanda attacked with raw chaos, tearing open Stark's mind. But inside, all she saw was ice. A consciousness older than Earth's sun. Ymir looked at her through Tony's eyes and smiled. Wanda screamed. Thor arrives. The sky didn't crack, it roared. Stormheart crashed to Earth first, embedding in the ground like a lightning spear. Then Thor landed, but not as the Thunder God, as the last Warden of Realms. His new armor shimmered with inscriptions older than Asgard. Lightning flared around him, not from the sky, but from inside. Tony turned. Their eyes met. "You gave them my heart," Thor said. Tony's voice wavered. "I gave them hope." Thor launched forward, and the earth trembled. They clashed above the clouds, blow for blow. Tony used folded dimensions, photon bursts, and gravity reversals. Thor countered with a weapon forged from grief and purpose. Each strike lit the horizon. Every blow echoed across continents. And then, Stormheart pierced the Mark Infinity suit, straight through the chest, straight into the heart Tony never should have touched. Inside the reactor, Ymir screamed, and for the first time, he bled. The scream shattered clouds. Ymir's voice, amplified through the reactor embedded in Tony Stark's chest, ripped across dimensions. Lightning turned black, oceans stilled, and the stars above Earth flickered As if watching, Tony collapsed midair, the mark infinity, suit seizing as Stormheart's blade burned deep into his core. Thor hovered in front of him, eyes glowing white, storm surging in his veins. "You weren't just arrogant," he growled. "You were used." Stark coughed, choking on blood and starlight. I was trying to stop chaos." "You gave chaos a key," Thor roared, twisting Stormheart deeper. Suddenly, a blast of frost erupted from Tony's back. Ymir wasn't dead, just awakened. The sky behind them cracked open. A second rift, wider, colder, ancient. Out of it stepped a silhouette of pure winter. Ymir's essence, half-form, all rage. Towering, bone white, a face carved in glacier and war. In New Asgard, Valkyrie looked up and whispered, "The frost has returned." The mountains began to decay, trees freezing mid-bloom, animals petrifying in place. Back in the sky, Ymir raised a hand, and the core spire on Earth answered. It pulsed once, then split open like an egg. From inside poured tendrils of blue fire, frost flame, the forgotten magic. It raced across the planet, freezing oceans, crumbling cities. Tony blinked in horror. "He's using my tech." Strange and Wanda teleported in, barely holding shields around civilians. "You can't stop this with machines," Strange said, grim. "But maybe," Wanda added, "with blood." Suddenly, boom, a rupture in the air. Thor and Ymir both turned as a golden surge of energy carved through the sky. A voice thundered from beyond the clouds. "Enough." Descending from a celestial veil came a translucent figure of Odin, not as a ghost, but a conscious echo, summoned by Thor's prayers, reborn from the legacy of kings. He hovered between Thor and Ymir, wielding Gungnir, his mighty spear. Ymir flinched, even in his god-flame form. "You broke the pact, Frostspawn," Odin boomed. "That heart was your prison, my son your warden." "Then you are all guilty," Ymir bellowed, "and all shall freeze." Odin turned to Thor. "Stormheart is not enough. You must end this at the source." Thor nodded grimly. "Stark's reactor." Odin raised his hand and whispered a single word. "Unbind." And Tony Stark screamed. The reactor was torn from his chest, alive, shaking, glowing red and white and blue, and thrown into the sky like a cursed sun. Thor grabbed Stormheart and soared after it. Above the atmosphere, Thor caught the spinning core midair. It pulsed like a dying god. He gripped it with both hands and whispered, "I forgive you, Tony." And then he slammed Stormheart through it. One final time. The explosion wasn't fire. It was thunder. Pure, eternal thunder. It echoed through realms, through timelines, through galaxies. Ymir screamed and shattered into frost dust. Thor fell unconscious, his body crackling with divine backlash. Tony floated nearby, barely alive, but free. Odin faded, smiling at his son one last time. Earth was safe, for now, but the cost would be written in the stars. The sky was quiet. No thunder, no machines, just smoke drifting above Earth. Where the core spire once stood, there was now only a crater, half ice, half scorched black. Everything Tony Stark built from alien tech was dust. Thor awoke first, his armor cracked, bleeding lightning. Stormheart was gone, shattered in the final strike. The frost on his beard melted as he opened his eyes to dawn. Beside him, Tony Stark lay still, chest caved in where the reactor had once glowed. Thor knelt beside him. "Stark." No answer. Until Tony coughed, blood trickling from his mouth. "Hey, Thunder God." Thor exhaled, half relief, half heartbreak. "You still breathe." Tony tried to laugh. "For now." He looked around. "Did we win?" Thor nodded. "Ymir is gone. The frost is broken. Earth endures." Tony smiled faintly. "Then maybe I didn't screw up everything." "You almost doomed existence," Thor said plainly. "But your heart, what was left of it, held him back long enough." Tony blinked slowly. "Then maybe I'm not the villain in the story after all." Thor placed his hand gently on Stark's shoulder. "You were never the villain, Stark. Just a man who flew too close to gods." 1 week later, Earth, New Asgard. A memorial was held at the edge of the fjords. Not a funeral. Tony Stark wasn't dead, but he would never fight again. His body, shattered by star core radiation, now rested in suspended stasis, deep within Wakanda's cryo vault. His mind flickered between sleep and silence, half man, half memory. A monument stood in his honor, a broken arc reactor, encased in Asgardian glass. Beneath it, a plaque read, "He gave away power to return our thunder." Thor stood beside it, his cape whipping in the northern wind. Valkyrie approached. "You sure you're ready for this?" Thor nodded. "Asgard needs more than a king now." She smiled. "A guardian?" He turned toward the horizon, a protector of realms. In the shadows, far beyond, the remnants of the Starforged watched Earth from across dimensions. One turned to the others. He destroyed Ymir. Another hissed. He wields blood thunder now. Odin's echo lives in him. The leader narrowed its crystalline eyes. "Then next time, we don't bargain with men." Final scene, the cosmos. A child on a distant planet looks up and sees the sky ripple with thunder. A whisper follows the wind. The storm lives again. The end. But legends return.